I come from a place called Birmingham, where everyone sounds like Ozzy Osbourne,
No, it's like we do.
and the streets are rife with degeneracy and drugs. So as a little homage to my hometown, I decided to play Fallout New Vegas as a crackhead that's trying to turn his life around by going cold turkey. Here are the rules. Once I get my addictions, I'm not allowed to get them removed. And I'm also not allowed to take any more drugs once the addictions have set in. And I decided to make another rule that I'm not allowed to get the intense training perk or any implants. Let's get started. I made 2 attempts at this run. The first one was on my Xbox, so it just ended up being mostly footage of me walking from one vendor to the other and buying whatever chems they had to start the addictions, which ended up taking hours. So I decided to restart the run on my PC so I can use console commands to place the drugs into my inventory when I leave Doc Mitchell's house. I needed to mention this because if you try doing this run on your console, be prepared to do a lot of waiting and walking. After being shot in the head by Benny, presumably from owing him some money for Jet, I wake up in Doc Mitchell's office, and after making Tweaker Tom, I head over to the Vigor Tester to sort my specials. I decided to go with 2 strength, because after all the years of taking every drug in the wasteland, my muscles are almost non-existent. 10 perception, because the drugs have made Tweaker Tom quite paranoid, so he's incredibly aware of every sound and sight around him. 9 endurance, because our protagonist would have had to have a pretty tough body to deal with all the years of abuse he wrought on it. 1 charisma and 1 intelligence, because drugs are bad. 7 agility, as he spent a while running from dealers he owed money to, and 10 luck, because, let's be honest, to take every addictive substance in the Mojave and live to tell the tale, you'd have to be a pretty lucky person. For my tag skills, I picked guns, medicine, and sneak. And for my traits, I picked Wild Wasteland, which is the first time it's actually made sense for me to use in a run because all the substances have ruined the stability of Tweaker Tom's mind, so now he hallucinates. And I also picked Skilled to get a nice little +5 to all my skills. After this, I did try to add the withdrawal effects with the console commands to cut out the middleman, but that didn't work. So when I left Doc Mitchell's house, I added 20 of each chem and some vodka, chugged them like it was the 1980s, then slept for 24 hours because I was way too high to function. Now that the withdrawal effects have started and my specials have been drastically reduced, I get some survival training from Sonny to level up. Then after hearing Joe Cobb threaten Trudy in her saloon, I decided to blow his brains out. But I'm not the type to do half a job whilst presenting a full smile. So I decided to help Goodsprings deal with their powder ganger problem. So after rallying them together to make a stand, I used Pete's dynamite to blow the pounder gangers into many pieces of varying sizes. After looting their corpses to get some supplies, I hit the road to find Benny. As I come across the town of Prim, some bandits started attacking me. I took this personally and decided to clear them out with the Bison Steve. I got a bit carried away though and accidentally killed Beagle. He may be gone, but he will be instantly forgotten. After that mildly entertaining encounter, I head back to Goodsprings to pick up Benny's cigarette butts because I forgot to do it earlier, then run round to the back of Nipton and pay my respects to Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. After that, I almost snuff it when I got ambushed on the road by some filthy raiders, but I managed to scale the cliffs and take them out from above, because as the beloved Obi-Wan Kenobi has proven, the high ground always wins. After the last raider hits the dirt, I safely arrive at Novac. My first task here is a controversial one, because I commit the most cardinal of sins. I turn Lady Gibson's head into a cheese grater, which also means I'm forced to take out her doggos. All this degeneracy is for a gun she has, Big Boomer, a unique variant of the sawn-off shotgun. After looting her house for some stimpaks, Malcolm decides to sprint towards me and ends up getting his head blown off because he startled me. I head over to Dinky, steal that gun, then shoot Manny in the back of the head and throw him out Dinky's mouth. So as far as anyone's concerned, our beloved reptilian giant just had a tactical chunder. Then I make tracks to Boulder City, because I think the residents of Novac have suffered enough from my antics. As I approach the Eldorado gas station, I get attacked by some vipers. After quickly dispatching them, I loot a cool looking bandana off one of them, then have a well needed nap. After arriving at Boulder City in one piece, I came to the conclusion in my tiny mind that I wouldn't be able to convince the Great Khans to give up peacefully because I'm about as charismatic as a roadkill hedgehog. So I decided to apply a more aggressive form of negotiation. After looting Benny's lighter from Jessup, I helped the NCR take out the rest of the Khans and save their captured men. Now it's time to pay a visit to an old friend. Before I can even get close to him though, I need to get into the strip. So I have to have a chat with the one-armed bandit. After robbing the Wrangler blind, I pass the credit check and head into the Lucky 38 to speak with House. I decided to side with him on this run. I don't normally do this because I think he's a massive twat, but I figured that Tweaker Tom wouldn't be smart enough to run Vegas on his own, and the NCR and Caesar's Legion probably wouldn't be too stoked to have an ex-junkie in their ranks. So the Disney doppelganger it is. I speak to Swank at the tops and show him Benny's cigarette button lighter to get him to send Benny to his room so I can ring his dinger. After blasting his balls off, I half-inch the platinum chip and bring it to House. Then he sends me to go pay a visit to the Mojave's most famous egg to upgrade his Securitrons. After an almost fatal run-in with some giant geckos, I arrive at Cottonwood Cove and hitch a ride on a raft. After letting Caesar's speech pass into one ear and leave right out the other, I head into the bunker and install the Securitron Mark II upgrade for Howard Hughes. When I return to him, he gives me a choice regarding the boomers. I can either destroy them or bring them over to our side to help with the attack on Hoover Dam. I opted for the latter, because even though things have gone relatively smoothly so far, the Legion's more specialised forces are going to be a bit more of a challenge for me with my lack of specials affecting my abilities, and the boomers' help is going to trivialise things somewhat, so I'm off to Nellis Air Force Base. After dodging their artillery by the skin of my teeth, Pearl asks me to help them out with some manual labour. But first, I take a while to listen to their history. Then I steal some solar panel parts off the NCR and use them to repair the Nellis solar array. After this, I buy some shotgun ammo at the gunrunner's stall, then purge the inside of the array of all the pests inside. Now that the boomers finally trust me, Pearl wants me to help Loyal raise a bomber from the depths of Lake Mead. But first I have to grab a pressure cooker from the Nipton General Store and give it to Jack so he can fix up a rebreather for me so I don't drown. Then I dive into Lake Mead. After raising the giant war machine from its watery grave and the boomers pledge themselves to our House of Vice, I give the Omertas a change in management. Then House asks me to destroy the Brotherhood of Steel. So I go and grab Veronica from the 118 trading post so I can get into the Brotherhood's bunker without being fitted with some new neckwear that has a tendency to remove the wearer's head. I activate the bunker's self-destruct program and make a run for it. Once it's nothing more than a pile of rubble, I gun Veronica down on the streets of Freeside. As her body hits the gutter, the Brotherhood of Steel becomes a footnote in the annals of history. Then I blow all the Van Graff guards to pieces and clear out the rest of the stragglers inside their shop. I did this to stock up on some ammo and grenades in preparation for the final battle. Could I have just bought them? Well yeah, I have the caps for it, but you should know by now, I'm a massive dickhead. After that shit show, I turn the power on at the Eldorado substation and head to Hoover Dam for the big finale. The tri-beam plasma rifle I half-inched from the Van Graffs tore through the Legion's best and brightest like a hot knife through butter. And to add some icing to this cake, I managed to sneak past the NCR morons guarding the control room and installed the override chip without getting blasted into the stratosphere. Once the power was on and House was installed in the mainframe, I nabbed an anti-material rifle from one of the dead Centurions. After using it to snipe the legs off one of the guards outside the Legate's camp, I stole his uniform, which allows me to just walk into the camp without raising suspicion. This didn't stop me from getting my arse kicked though. Quite a few times actually. Eventually I managed to come up with a plan that actually worked. I placed some plasma mines down in the path where Lanius runs and shot him with the anti-material rifle, which did a ton of damage. Then he ran towards me and stood directly on top of the mines and started talking to me. I knew the second the dialogue ended, he would get blown to Timbuktu. So obviously I started being cocky towards him. He tried to disarm the mine, but he failed. Then General Lee shows up and me and the Securitrons melt them into piles of ash. House congratulates me on a job well done and Tweaker Tom gets rewarded with a free cinema ticket. And with that, I beat Fallout New Vegas as a crackhead. This run was easier than I expected, considering that my specials were basically non-existent, but it was fun and I had a blast doing it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and subscribing. It helps out the channel massively. Plus, if you hit the notification bell, you'll get to see more juicy content from yours truly when it releases. If you have any suggestions on games you want to see me play, drop a comment down below. And I'll see you next time.